Hello and welcome. Today on an explaining video. First, something to me. I am KAISER. I play Hell Let Loose, as you can see, for around 2,900 hours now. I play competitively. I have pretty much won every single important tournament. Yeah, I'll teach you the game today. So, first things first. Okay, I know it is a very long video, but don't get discouraged. There is a lot to learn. But if you already know certain stuff, I will have a timestamp here and you can go where you want to learn certain stuff. So have fun with it. If you're on Epic, that doesn't really concern you. If you're on Steam, you want to put in here the DX12 and use available cores. I will put it in the description and I'll explain later what that does, because the game runs normally on DX11 and with DX12 you will get a lot more FPS. I don't know if there's anything for this on Epic, but I'll let you know as fast as I know it. So yeah, now we're good to go. Okay, let's fire it up. Okay, press any button to continue. Did that, and now we're in the main menu in a few seconds. Okay, here we are. Okay, when you just want to play, you just press enlist and then the server list pops up. But, we will go firstly inside of the barracks to explain a bit about the different classes you can play in Hell Let Loose. So here you can look out through your complete, or through the factions you can play in Hell Let Loose. You can change the design, of course, with the presets, like how the guy will look, etc, etc. Okay. But I will shortly explain every class. Okay, to the guns itself, like every single rifle has a one-hit range of 200 meters. The SMG's 3 shots, machine guns like the STG-44, BAR 100 meters, carbine 75 meters, something like that. But don't play the carbine, it is a trash gun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. SMG's 3 hits to the body, 1 hit for rifles, 200 meters, 1 hit for machine guns, 100 meter, and you are good to go. The commander, there's only 1 per team per game, and he can spawn tanks, spawn vehicles, make airdrops, etc, etc. So he's a very important, but I highly suggest you wait until like level 50 to try this role. Officer, he's the core of your squad, like a squad is out of 6 people. He's the only one who can make an outpost, like a spawnable thing for your squad, for your other 5 man. I would also highly suggest that you don't touch this role until you're kind of about level 30 to really get it going. Rifleman, it's the backbone of every faction. It is the class with the best weapons for Germany and Americans, overall best weapons, the Gewehr and the Garand. You see it's level 6, so you really have to go for it. So I would suggest to play like Rifleman on the US side. On Germany, you can either you learn the game with the Kar 98 to get really a good feeling for shooting to one-hit enemies, or you want to go for auto rifleman or the MP40 classes like support or stuff like that. We will go over this in a second. But I really suggest you start with rifleman because you don't take any other resources, and medic is completely useless in Hell Let Loose. People who write in the comments that don't agree have no clue about this game. So trust me on that, I know my shit. Okay, then we go over assault. It is like, normally you have your Gewehr there, first level, so it's also a pretty solid thing, but you shouldn't take it because high level will always go for the assault level 9 because it has a satchel, which can kill tanks, garrisons, etc. over a 25 meter radius. We'll get over that, but it is a very nice role. If it's free, you kinda can take it, but I would suggest you stick with Rifleman the first like 30 to 50 levels, and then you go up the other class, except for support, but we will talk about this when we are there. So Assault, you kinda wanna get to level 9. It is a very hard grind, but it is the best like class in the game, like weapon plus satchel, like the STG-44 is a beast mid-range and close range, and then you have the satchel as well where you can destroy tanks and stuff. So that is a really nice class. On the American side, it's kind of mid because you have the grease gun, I mean. And the grease gun, I mean, it is playable. It is definitely playable, but not anything compared to the STG 44. Okay, the way I don't talk a lot about the other factions is this video would be like 50 minutes long, and we only want to talk about this, what you're most likely playing. Okay, the other factions like have also a pretty, like the Russians have a PPSH with the satchel, which is also very good. British with the Thompson drum mag with the satchel, also very good, but all level 9, so keep that in mind. Okay, now to the auto rifleman. Pretty much the assault without the good stuff, like without the satchel and the smokes, but you can play the FG42. It is a gun that is in every way pretty much worse than the STG, but it is a fun weapon to play around. But as I said from the start, you want to go with the STG 44 if you like in a city map. You don't have to really play Rifleman K98, or on the American side, the BAR. You can obviously play still close range with the Garand, but the BAR has a lot of potential, you know. The only bad thing about the BAR is it zooms in pretty slowly, so you always have a disadvantage against submachine guns and other stuff. Okay, medic. We don't talk about medic because medic is completely useless other than in offensive. A little bit in offensive when your team is completely stuck, then you can play medic, but it is just a useless role because most people are just better off by respawning to get their shit back. Easy as that. Okay, support. Okay, there are a few things on support. Doesn't really matter which gun you picked as support because a support class has only one job. It has this little crate in every faction. And these are 50 supplies which you need for building garrisons. And garrisons are the backbone of your whole army, where your whole team can spawn. So they're really important and you have to fight around them. So normally you can pick support when the game starts. And then you just stick with your officer and ask him, hey man, where do you want to build a garry? If he doesn't say he doesn't want to build a garry, you can play it. But as soon as he says, hey, I want to build a garry there, and you drop your supplies at the position, you immediately redeploy and get the fuck off the thing, because you have a 5-minute cooldown and you instantly need to make the role free that another teammate can join it. So this is support is the hover class of a squad in a good team. It is always taken by one guy who is free and able to drop. And this guy kind of sticks around the officer. Yeah, this is how you play support. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Only pick it when you're free, then get straight off it, then you're perfect. Machine gunner, pretty self-explanatory. You have the big boom booms. You can really rain hell on the enemies. I wouldn't really take the bar class. I mean, it has a lot of bullets. As you can see, you have 14 mags. On the other factions, it is a machine gun class is, yeah, it's alright, but the really thing you're gunning for is the M342. This is the shit. So you want to level MG for this one. There are a few tips for MG, like for long distances. You kind of want to go on FOV 60 because everything is more zoomed in and it's easier to hit. And only burst with the MG guns. Don't rain hell on them with holding mouse 1, so try to burst. Trust me, it's really effective. Anti-tank, you normally want to go with the standard level 1 because you have the Panzerschreck, or on the other side the bazooka, or the Piat anti-bazooka for the different for the other factions. You can two-shot pretty much anything besides the heavy tanks, so medium tanks, light tanks, recon tanks, and trucks are 1 or 2 shots. With the Panzerschreck, you can 2-shot anything up to the medium from every side, so that is very nice. But the heavies you can only pen from the sides, and always the body. Never ever aim at the tracks. The tracks are completely useless. You don't make hull damage and you can't destroy it from there. You wanna aim every time for the hull and you're good to go. And with the heavy tanks, you can only destroy heavy tanks through 1 satchel, which we'll talk about in the ambusher, and with 3 shots. So you have to have resources, and when your team plays a lot of riflemen, when it's good, like, it only works for the German faction. You have this one, explosive ammo box, and this is really, really nice. Because there your AT can reload his shit. The Americans don't have them. The Americans only have them at support, and normally you drop your support stuff only by your outpost or the garrison. Depends. Okay, on to the United States. You have the bazooka. It can only pen pretty much anything from the back. Besides the recon, you can destroy every recon from every side, but also don't hit the wheels, always hit the body. Always the body, the upper part. Same with the tanks, and never ever the turret, because it is completely useless to hit the turret. Always go for body shots. For the bazooka, you have the better gun, but you can only pen from the back. Also 2 shots for everything up to the heavy, 3 shots for the heavy. You have to reload. And only the support has the explosive ammo box in his loadout. Okay, next, but normally never place the ammo carrier, because normally you will go for the M1 Grand. Okay, now to the ambusher. Ambusher, same as assault level 9, has the satchel, same as engineer. Satchel is very, very useful. You will need it with, like, if the Gary is on the other side of a wall, like a garrison or outposts or a lot of people inside bunkers, etc. You can clear a 25-meter radius with the satchel. It goes through everything, so no building or stuff hinders it. It will kill everything in a 25-meter radius, and it will only kill tanks if it's directly placed on them. So you want to place it on them. Pretty easy. Okay, now to the gun crew. It has the, like, AT gun, but AT guns are very slow to rotate. They need 50 supplies to build, and normally they're one shot to everything, so it is very situational, but you can build it and have fun with it. Don't really have a bullet drop. I mean, a slight one, but no one near that of a tank, so pretty fun to use it once in a while. A good tip I can give you is, when you have a good squad, tell your squad lead he has to drop like 2-3 smokes directly in front of the AT gun when you build it. Therefore, he can mark the tank with his binoculars when he's around it, and you just shoot at the ping and you're good to go. It is a tip, you can use it, not your decision. Okay, next on engineer. Engineer has also the satchel with the level 3 loadout. Pretty fun. You have the shoddy. You can really dismantle people. Normally you want to pick this one because it has the wrench, and with the wrench you can build certain stuff. Like, the most important stuff is nodes. Like, you want to build the 3 nodes at the start of the game, if you can do it, because you level up faster. We will get to this. It is pretty nice. Also, you have, I think you have the flamethrower on support level 8, but I mean, yeah, it's not that useful, to be honest. Okay, field engineer. Also, the wrench doesn't really matter which thing you use. There you have the torch as well, which is really good when a tank is damaged. You can run to it and help it repair faster. Easy. I will show you what you can build with the engineer. Okay, tank commander. You always want to go for the mechanic because it has the torch. This one doesn't have, so you want to have the torch to repair the tank. Same as this guy. You want to have the mechanic level 3 with the torch. Spotter. You're kind of only there for your sniper to place an OP and then run to the next location where you can place the OP. Or you kind of can try to get a bit close range because you have the SMGs, but I mean, on the level 2 loadout you have the carbine and you have the K98, and they're just, yeah, not that good guns, so I highly suggest you only do this when you want to flare. The flare gun is incredibly useful. Just shoot it in the air. It will show every enemy and every vehicle or enemy vehicle inside the area where you shoot it. Doesn't really have an indicator. You just have to, like, get used to it. Pretty easy. But normally I would just go for the SMGs. Pretty fun stuff there. Okay, sniper. Like on the Americans, you have the same sniper, just with different loadouts. Like this one has smokes and a mine. This one has a pistol and a grenade. On the German side, you have 2 different guns. You have the K98. Really good gun for long ranges. But other than that, yeah, I would always go level 3 FG42 4 times. Best weapon in the game. It is insane. 100 meter, 1 hit distance, and it has nearly 0 recoil, so you can spam this thing. It is incredible. It is so fun. Okay, that's pretty much everything you need in this part. Okay, now there is a cool thing. There is the field manual, where you can look at all the vehicles, like the specifications, etc. What you can do with them, what they're for. Like here, for example, the supply truck has 2 times 150 supplies in it, which he can drop in the 3rd row of your area. So pretty nice. You can read pretty much anything, but I mean, we all know reading isn't that fun. So let's go inside the practice range. We start with Germans. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It is very cool because you can pretty much learn every role here. Like we will go as engineer first because we want to build stuff. K98, confirm, and you are good to go. Okay, this is the practice range. You can do like crouch stuff, etc. But we're not here for that. To kind of get the movement. This is pretty fun. You can kind of shoot the heads off, get a little bit of aiming in. But we're here for building stuff. As you can see in the practice range, here is the engineer section, where you can take your wrench, and with right click you can see what everything is when you scroll down. So we have the barbed wire, the Belgian gate, the barricade, the bunker, repair station, reset node, fuel, manpower, and munitions. So these things get the commander resource points, which is important to build or spawn things. You want to hold down, get it up, easy, and then you press mouse 1 to upgrade it. As you can see, I didn't finish it yet, but we have 30 per minute, 30 per minute, 30 per minute. If I finish this, we have 40 per minute for the ammunitions, and you can do this with 3 node sets, like 3 times 3 the nodes, and you have 60. So 3 guys on your team can build 1 set per man. So 3 sets in full. Okay, other cool stuff. Other cool stuff is like the repair station, which, as the name suggests, it repairs tanks. You can do with your lean button. I have it on my mouse, my lean button, but you can turn it. It's only really for the AT gun that this is helpful. Then you can build a bunker. You can only build it 1 time. You see it on the right indicator besides the 0 out of 1. So you can only build 1. You can build 4 barricades, 4 barbed wire, and 2 Belgian gates. Okay, the bunker is pretty nice. You can upgrade it to look like a real bunker, but it takes a lot of resources. Barricades, you can also upgrade them level 3. Also pretty nice to have, like on offensive maps. Belgian gate pretty much is either you place it on to stop the tanks from getting through, or easier or a cool method is you can place it where you can't get on top of roofs, and then you can get on top of roofs for buildings and stuff like that. Barbed wire, you can't get through it. It is really annoying. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the engineer. How to destroy them. Either you are engineer on the enemy team, get your wrench out and start to dismantle it. But I can't do it here, but yeah, you get the point. Or you get a satchel, and as I said before, 25-meter radius, it destroys everything. Build stuff, garrisons, outposts, and humans. So, pretty nice stuff. Okay, now to the anti-tank. We are going in. So, okay, if you are German, you will see these tanks a lot. This is the small tank, the little tank, the Steward. This is the medium tank, and this is the big boy, the 76. You can see it with the barrel. There is a Jumbo 75, which is bigger than this. It's the same size as this and green, so really nice to spot it, but it rarely gets used because it is just completely trash. And the 76, yeah, really easily visible from the barrel thing here. And as I said before, when you remember, Heavy tanks 3 shots and not from the front. Medium tanks 2 shots from every side. Little tanks 2 shots from every side. When I demonstrate it, like if I want to pen it here, it just bounces. But if I want to pen it here, remember, not the tracks, always the body. These are for normal ammunition and these are for explosive. On the American, they look a bit different, but doesn't really matter. Okay, Stewie as well as the medium. You can pen it from the front. Just try to aim like always at the middle a bit. Like around this ping. You don't really have to, because if you get pretty low, it will bounce. So always try to pen it from here. And yeah, you see, you penned it. This is the sound for it. Remember it. Pretty easy. Okay, now to the tanks. When you want to make a tank squad, you click here and then you can take the tank commander. Okay, we are in. Now we can do some driving. It is pretty straightforward. Every tank has 3 crewmates, a spotter, a driver, and a gunner. So you enter as the driver, then the gunner, then the spotter. Okay, so with the F buttons, you can change your spot. And with the right mouse or mouse 2, where you normally aim, you can shoot your MG when it has one. And with the left, you fire the big cannon. This is when a tank destroys. You can hear it really easily. With your scroll wheel, you can zoom in 3 things. This is a bounce. And this is a bounce. Did you hear the difference between the Stuart? And with R, you can reload. Okay, now we can see this, what the spotter looks like, and we can destroy the 76 afterwards. That you hear the pen as well. So here you have a kind of a lookout area. Pretty easy. And yeah, now a setting I have to show you. You have to go to keybinds and to driver, and there you have artillery precision aim and gunner precision aim. You have to bind this to a button. I have it on left control. So I will show you what that does. So for the tanks, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty top to bottom game. So the big tank can destroy the other big tank, that like the heavy tank, with 2 shots, and everything else with 1 shot. Pretty nice. The medium can pen the heavy only from the side. As you can see, the medium can destroy a heavy tank with 2 shots. And the Stewie, the light tank, with 1 shot. Heavy tanks need 2 shots for other heavy tanks and 1 shot from every angle, every other tank. So here we have a medium. And it's gone. Pretty easy stuff. So you're the top dog when you have a heavy tank. As for the looks can only pen the Stuart from the back. Everything else is not an option. You can't even pen a medium. On the other side, the Stuart can pen both the Panther, Tiger, and P4, but only from the back. It needs 3 shots for it. These are the tank damages. Okay, here you can see I have 2 different shell type. You have to reload them with R. Either the AP or the HE. AP is pen for destroying vehicles, and HE is for high explosive. I'll now show you the difference between the normal aim and the precision aim, which we just talked about. So here's the normal aim, and if I press the button, you see how slow it gets. Okay, now to the fun part, the driving. I mean, gunning is also very fun, but driving is also pretty fun. You have to be constantly in touch with your teammates. So you want to start out the tank with E, and you are good to go. It takes a while, but it is fine. Okay, now you upshift with the shift key, on your keyboard, like shift, and you downshift with control. So you can go in reverse, and then you just hit W and you are reversing. You don't have to get off of W, you shift upwards with shift, and again, and now you're in first. You always have to look about the RPM you have. You see it on the smaller circle. And then you want to be in 4th gear, and you are good to go. If there's something behind you, with this tank, it is pretty easily to drive around. But on other tanks, you kind of want to downshift, because you rotate faster when you are in reverse or first. You have a MG with no indicator here, which you can press with mouse 1. Pretty fun, but I mean, you don't have a clue where you're shooting, so stop with park, and always when the gun shoots you want to be in park, because then the gunner doesn't have to re-aim every time. The tank stays pretty much still. Okay, this is it for tanks. As you can see here, you can pretty much try everything out which you want from every faction, so it's pretty nice and sweet to kind of get it going, like before you join in, and you can try the guns out, how they feel, how you like them. It is pretty nice. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it for the practice range. And now you are good to go for some real Hell Let Loose. Okay, what you want to do? You click online list and then you wait. Okay, boys, here we are. This is the server browser. So there you have all the servers which are online. There are obviously, when you're new right now, the official servers, but I would recommend to search some community servers because they're better modded. They have a strong community. They always have a Discord server where you can join and find new friends. Pretty nice stuff. So the best ones off the top of my mind are 82 AD in Europe. So I start with Europe. So 82 AD, 82 AD, 82 AD. They're always nice. They're super friendly. Perfect. Same goes for Finn Let Loose. They only have one server, but it's okay. Dutch Let Loose. Also pretty nice dudes. Then you have our team, WTH. But it's nearly never seeded, so only now because of the new guys. But the other ones are pretty much seeded every time because they're just well-known community servers. These are the English-speaking ones which are really good. And there are like a lot of, if you are German, you can type in GER. And yeah, there are all the German servers, which is also pretty nice if you want to talk in your native language. Same for France, China, everything in between, you know. Pretty much every country has its own server, but the Finnish and the Dutch also speak normally English. There's also the Polish, which are very nice. You can also join there, but I feel like they speak a little bit too much Polish for my taste, so yeah. But it is fine. It is fine. For the Americans, you have like Gary Busters or Garrison and Whiskey, Soul Sniper server, which is from Soul Sniper, the YouTuber, which is also has a very nice community, and the best server by far is for me the Syndicate server because it is level 50, so it has a barrier where you can get in, so everyone knows what they're doing somewhat in the server, and it's pretty fun. But there's a high chance you're not level 50 yet, so... And don't be discouraged. These are the real pings. When you're in-game, I can show you this right now. I joined the server. Remember, I had a 98 ping. If I'm in here now, I have a 160 ping. Why is that? Or 140? Because Hell Let Loose in-game, like in the server, doesn't show the ping correctly. I don't know why. I have no clue. Okay, I can show you quickly the commander abilities. Like if you press M, you normally have your map here, but as commander, you have a lot of things to do. And on the right side, you see the cost of it. So there, these are the manpower nodes, fuel nodes, ammunition nodes. So this goes all under manpower, and you can make an airhead where your team can spawn, pretty much where you put it. And you set it with this button when you're free to go. Reinforce is when people in this circle, I will get to this in a second, are worth more when you have reinforce on. So it's good for defending if you're in a stick situation. And encouraged, yeah, it always shows in the on the bottom corner what it does. Like nodes will generate 2 times resources for 5 minutes, which is very nice. Yeah, then you can generate fuel and ammunition. So 100 to 60 if you really need something. It is really nice to do. Then for the ammunition, you can make an ammo drop, supply drop. Supply drop is very important to build garrisons, especially the first ones, because you can't drop with a supply truck here. So you kind of want to do it here or for attacking area here. It is something you shouldn't be too much concerned because there are a lot of good videos out there how to play Commander correctly. You should watch them if you really want to do it. Recon plane. It is a plane where it shows every single thing, like the flare gun. In this part, you can aim it, and when you click it again, you can rotate it. Then a precision strike. Okay, I can't show it right now, but it is a small circle, which is like a satchel. Strafing run. Same with this. You click it anywhere, click again on it to change the rotation. It is just a little straver for, I don't know, when your area in the back is hot and you know the snipers are there, click on it, brave it, perfect. Bombing run, this is the big boy for defending certain areas. So you can kind of press it here if they're coming from this area, turn it around, and they are boom. Or maybe a bit more. It is pretty hard to aim. You always have to click again and again until you're kind of good with it. And with this, you call it when you press this button. Confirm order. Okay, same with the other resources. You can also, for 100 ammunitions, you can gain 60 fuels or 60 manpower. And now to the fuel, the fun stuff. Okay, you can order a half truck, which is pretty much a truck where you always have to click on the HQ where you want to place it, and you have to confirm. Obviously, a half track is like a Gary with 60 seconds cooldown. A Gary is 40 seconds cooldown, and a OP 20 seconds, but we'll get to this later. So pretty easy stuff. Half track, you drive it around, you turn the engine off, your team can spawn there. Pretty nice. But it costs 300, so it's rather expensive. Lux is the light tank, Panzer IV is the medium, Panther, Tiger are the heavy ones. Panther is 10 times better than the Tiger, so don't ever use the Tiger. Only when you have like to get a tank on the ground ASAP, but always the Panther because it's more maneuverable. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, trucks, transport truck. Yeah, they spawn at the start as with a light tank, a medium tank, and a recon tank, and a supply truck, but only in the middle. So you normally don't want to make another transport truck, pretty useless, but you want to do a supply truck. Why? Because the supply truck is for engineers. This one is for you to build the attacking garrisons, maybe here or here or here or here. I don't really care as commander. But the second one is for engineers. They will pick it, drive it up to this wall, because here they can drop it. They can't drop in the first 2 areas. And then they can build nodes in this area, because if we somehow lose this area, these nodes will still be there. If they place it here and we lose this area, and they're here, we lose the nodes as well. Really bad. So drive it here, drop the supply crate as close to this line as possible, and build the nodes here. Nice. Kübelwagen, it's a meme, but it is funny. I can spawn one here. Pretty fun stuff. This is a recon. Recon tank can take up to 3 or 2 other crewmates, like normal infantry, where you can safely guide them through artillery into the, but this is more a competitive strategy. It can take pictures, but normally no one does that. They have a really long cooldown rate, and it's like a flare gun or a recon plane. And you can generate manpower or ammunitions. This little shitbox is the Kübelwagen. It is really fun to drive. We will do a race with it. So join my Discord if you want to participate in it. I don't know when, but we will do it. I promise. Okay, when you are first in the game, this should look something like this. So when you push here or any other plus, you can decide what you want to play. You want to play infantry or armor or recon. With recon, you have to be very fast. Armor, you have 6 squads. 18 squads for infantry. So you can create an infantry unit or a locked one. The infantry unit, everyone can join. Locked, they have to ask. Also, you can invite players, and on the left side, you can set if you're artillery, logistic, defense, or offense. Nearly no one does it, but it's there if you want to do it. Then you can click on loadout. This is my main class for officer on the Germans. Then you spawn in. And you're good to go. At the beginning of the match, you want to go into the transport truck. Start the engine with E, like every other vehicle. And this is automatic, so you don't have to use anything. Just press W and steer where you want to go. And you drive to the point. So at the start, you want to be as close to the point as possible. So maybe we go here. You can set the move marker when you right click in this menu. All teammates have it, the menu bar, but you will have different things. Like the squad leader has way more. Only the squad leader can mark tanks and stuff like that. Which we will get to in a second when we are at our destination. I already have different off-drop maps or videos on how you play the off-drop on different maps. You can check it out if you want. They are pretty quick to understand. You see the route, you can drive it yourself, and you are good to go. And do not take the truck when you don't know how to drive it. That is very important. Very, very, very important. Okay, boys? Trust me on that. Okay, as you can see, we are on warfare because this is not offensive and this is not skirmish. Offensive is from one side to the other with 4 points to attack or defend. Pretty straightforward. You can't get a point back. Warfare, on the other hand, is the most played and it is the coolest in my opinion. So, when we pull up the hut, normally with T, or where you bind it, but standard is T. You can bring it up and you see that we are capturing. Why are we capturing? Because we are in the soft cap. Soft cap is the 4 squares surrounded the circle where the hard cap is. So it is like always 4 squares, 4 squares, 4 squares. So these 4 are the soft cap for causeway. These for rail crossing, these for pumping, these for black dots. Always from here, second one, third one. So the 4 squares. And if you go inside the hard cap, we count as 3 people, not as 1. So you are worth more. And now you can also see the OP function. So when you are in the soft cap, quick little tip, you can see like on the lines, like on the strong point on the left side, you see that we're 1-0. So they're not in the soft cap. When they would be in the soft cap or the hard cap, it would be 1-1. So you get out your clock with the officer, and there you can place OP or a garrison. For garrison, you need 50 supplies. And with this little thing, your squad can spawn, like the 5 other mates you have in your squad. And with the Gary, same with the HQs. The whole team can spawn there, but you need 50 supplies to build it. And you can only build 8 of them. As you can see at the bottom. 0 out of 8 for the team. Okay, pretty much straightforward. Now we kept this midpoint. Now I could theoretically place Gary here, but I don't have supplies. So, quick explain over the modes. Skirmish, pretty much a team deathmatch over 1 point. You bonk your heads against each other and you get whoever has the point when the time runs out has the win. Pretty easy. Offensive, like they attack from this side and want to get all of the points. You always want to get the points. And on offensive, you only can cap when you're inside the hard cap. There is no soft cap in offensive. And the defenders cannot take a point back. Now to the real thing. Warfare, you will play it a lot because it's the most played mode. You have 5 points at the start of the match. The middle one is not capped by either side, so you have to cap it. And after that, every OP which is here from the enemy will disappear. Pretty straightforward. And then they can take it back or you can advance. So it is the most interesting because it's a back and forth, or you steamroll when you completely destroy them, but that's not really fun. Okay, these are the modes. All are 50-50, all are pretty cool. Had to Lose is a very awesome game. One last thing, if you want to play artillery, you should always pick a squad leader. Therefore you can mark shit for your team. You are going in here. It's funnier with when you have a second person, but normally you play it solo. You go in here. You have to be the... Or as you can see, there's F1 and F2, so 2 slots. The reloader, you press R. You have to get back to the gunner, set your range. There are literally apps for it, where you just press on the map where you want to shoot, and it says you the rotation and thing like that. Pretty easy. Artillery mark on able, then you can pull it up with T, and you just rotate it to able. It is very slow. It is the way it is. The other guy can also help you. Like, see, normally we can't go further, but I have to go to the driver, to the reloader, and we can turn it more. I think we're good now. Yeah, we overshot it. And you see it's nearly 1,100 meters. So on the left side we have 741 mil. On the right, bottom right, you see it. So we want to go to 741. Okay, maybe one less. And with one you fire. Then you have to go back, reload, go back to shooter and shoot. Normally you want to do like 3 shots because they travel like for around 30 seconds to 40 seconds, depends where it is. Sometimes 20 seconds. And then you have hit sounds, which are like little dings. I can't show you because I'm not in a thing right now, but there are some artillery guys out there. You will get the point. Easy video to understand everything. Okay, on the reloader you can switch between the ammunition. You can make smoke, but they cost more, but they're really cool. So each shot will take 3 ammunition and 5 ammunition for smoke, so be aware of that. So always look out and ask the commander if you can shoot more. If you're in doubt, if you're getting close to, I don't know, 500 ammunition or lower. Okay, this is the artillery. How to counter the artillery. You can only place your OP in this square and in the next square up to here. Same with a garrison. Garrison will be locked pretty easily in the red zone. We call it the red zone because it's the enemy zone. Because 100 meters, every enemy within 100 meters will block the garrison. That is to counter like large flanks with hordes of enemies or your teammates to push. Always look out for them. And your OP can be placed here. It doesn't have a lock radius, so you're good to go. So how you get to the artillery pretty easily. It is a sniper's game. It is really annoying because the snipers should normally roam around the backline and destroy the enemy garrisons, but they are sometimes forced to get to the artillery and kill them because only they can have OPs everywhere on the map and they don't get destroyed when you lose a cap or something like that. And when you lose a cap, you will lose every node, garrison or OP which is in it. So always when the cap flips, when you know you lose it, pick up your OP or you don't have a cooldown and then place a new one. Okay, another thing I want to do is like the settings I use. If you want to know, like I have my FOV on 85. I think it's pretty nice. Dead bodies despawn delay you have to have at 0.5 because it takes up resources if you don't have it. HUD display duration I would take up to 5 seconds. It's just easier. Map icon scale I have on 150. It is just that everything is bigger, easier to see. I have old eyes. Pretty easy for me. Marker display duration I would set to 2 seconds. Pretty nice because they disappear very fast and you can always put it up with T again, so you're good to go. Ping I would set at 5 seconds. It is good for 5 seconds. Normally this would be at 500, but I know every tank, so I can see from a mile away if it's my tank or the other tank. So they kinda conceal sometimes the enemy because the tank is behind the enemy and the nameplate occurs and it has a bigger nameplate than the others. And yeah, nameplate use icons only. I have to 0% because then you don't see their name, only when you hover at them. Pretty nice stuff. And yeah, streamer mode, it's not really good, but you can use it if you want to stream the game. Okay, now to the controls. I have lean toggle on and everything else on off because I just like it that way. These are my mouse sensitivities. I have 400 dpi. You can try them. Obviously I don't play with a controller, so I have no clue. And smooth mouse off, and yeah, everything off, and crouch toggle is on. Video settings, a thing which most of you will ask for, is I have it on windowed full screen. This is because I use the DX12. Otherwise, when you don't have DX12, you don't need to do it full screen, but which with the DX12 enabled, it is crashing when you're at full screen. So you always have to be windowed full screen. Keep that in mind. Texture quality on low, shadow quality on low, anti-aliasing method on community TAA, anti-aliasing quality on epic, because you can see the corners better and stuff like that. FX quality to low, view distance on high, because epic, there are more bushes in the way of like seeing the enemy. Foliage quality on medium, post-processing quality of medium, SSAO on off, and motion blur on off. Okay, these are settings for seeing the enemy pretty good. If you want it more cinematic, just put everything on epic, you're good to go. But these give you the most FPS by far. Key bindings, you can bind like everything. As you can see here on Infantry, I have my lean left and right on the thumb buttons. This is why, because I played PUBG and I had it there, so I never really tried to change it. Nothing else, like with the driver, I said the left control previously. Pretty important because you can precision aim. It is really nice. You hold it, you go way slower, and it's really nice for distant shots. Same with artillery. I don't know why it's artillery. The only way you can use it is for the anti-tank gun. Controller, if you play with a controller, you know more than me. I have no clue. And audio, I always do my proximity voice volume a bit higher, the UI volume a bit low. And these are my settings. You can copy them. Try it. It's not that scientific. Okay, this is pretty much it. This is the most information I can pack in, I don't know. I mean, I'm over 1 hour in recording already, so I hope I can somewhat press it down to 30 minutes. Hopefully. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment. If you have any further questions, I will happy to answer them. Have a nice morning, day, or evening. Goodbye. Bye-bye.